Hello all, Pit Bike Mike, and we are out here test riding this 2024 Road King. First off, wanted to say before we get too far in the video, I only get to do short drives with this on a demo day. Luckily, for some crazy reason, this demo day, we aren't in a big pack, so it's kind of cool. So, reason I say all this, I'm just going to give you all my thoughts on this, to the best of my ability. Since I don't get a whole lot of ride time in on it, I won't be able to, I'm not going to have like the most in-depth review, but it's mostly just going to be kind of my riding experience with it and how I feel. Alright, now this is pretty similar to my Heritage in some ways. Kinda. It's on a touring frame, hard bags, but yeah. Alrighty. So, one thing I will say about this as I get on it, these bars do not come up as high as they do on my Heritage, which I kind of don't like. I like the little bit taller bar so I can pull it back towards me a little bit. Yeah, it seems like the fiance doesn't seem to like that Nightster very much. She's fiddling with some type of controls over there, trying to get it figured out. Alright. Let's see how we feel. Alright, do a quick little lean angle just to kind of get a feel. Huh? I scraped. So it's a lot like my Heritage. Barely have any lean angle before I start scraping. Well, compared to if you just watch the other video of the Street Glide, definitely the Street Glide had a lot better lean angle than this. Alrighty. Alrighty. A little windy today, so if it messes up the audio a little bit, quite sorry about that. Alright. Transmission on this thing is clunky like you expect a Harley to be. Compared to the Street Glide, the 2024, which I just rode, totally different transmission feel. Way, way different. And as you can see on this, it still has the, previous generation or last year's version of the handle bar controls, which it's a lot cleaner of a look, super easy to figure out even if you're on the move, compared to the new handlebar buttons on the Street and Road Glide of the 2024 model. What to say about this bike? What to say about this bike? Well, I guess to start off some contention, just because this is how I am. And remember, everybody has different preferences on their bikes and all that other good stuff, and how they feel about it. But I think I like my riding characteristics of my 103 twin cam Heritage Softail more than this. I don't know why. It's a little hard to quantify it, but yes, this motor is smoother, being the Milwaukee 8 114. Yes, does it technically have more power? But, yeah. On paper, yes, this technically is a better bike than my old Heritage. But, the seat of the pants and just the feeling, the visceral feeling that it gives you I think my Heritage beats this out. Now, comparing this to the 2024 Street Glide that I just rode. Street Glide beats this thing hands down. Hands down. It completely just, yeah. Lean angle, Street Glide. Comfort, Street Glide. That fancy digital display, Street Glide. Don't get me wrong, this is not a bad bike. It really isn't. It's just, you know, to some people this might be the holy grail bike. But unfortunately, you know, since everybody's a little different, this just doesn't seem to be the one for me. It rides good. I can definitely tell it has a much better suspension than my Heritage. So like if I could take the suspension off of this, throw it on my Heritage, yeah, I'd be pretty happy. But we're not here to just bash this bike. It's simple. It's got the quick release front windshield. Let's see what else we got going on with this thing. Well, if you watched in my last video, it would obviously be a lot harder for me to accidentally turn this off while switching ride modes, because for one, there's no ride modes, and two, the button's not in the way like it was on the other bike. So, you know, definitely some pluses there. That's a huge plus, especially if you're sitting at a light trying to mess with your controls, and next thing you know, you shut the bike off, and then you look like a noob. But you know, it's whatever. It's whatever. One thing I'll notice on this though also is that there's like a vibration that's you don't get when it's under throttle, but when you let off it and it's engine braking, it's got a interesting vibration to it, and I'll admit, not the biggest fan of that. Brakes, they're not as responsive as the Street Glide that I just rode, but they still work pretty well to stop this big old beast. But you know, in terms of just like simplicity, you know, you got your gas gauge right here, you got your analog speedometer, you got your little tach and gear position indicator right there, you know, based off of, you know, when you switch the controls around. Oh, look at that. Gave me tire pressures. That was kind of cool. That's one thing that I'll admit is kind of nice, being able to just see your tire pressures like that. Oh. One thing I do say that I at least wish that this had is a heel shifter. I gotta say, I've become a real fan of the heel toe shifter. It's, I don't know, something about it's just kind of awesome to really get to enjoy. But yeah, this one's gonna be a short video because I don't really got much to say about this bike. It's not bad, but I definitely will say it's not my favorite, that's a real shame. But for seat height, me being 5'9", about 32-inch inseam, something like that, maybe, roughly, I don't know. I am pretty much flat-footed on both sides on this bike, which, you know, that's nice, especially when you're dealing with a 800-pound motorcycle. I really wish that they adjusted these clutches a little closer in. I hate having to release it so far out before it even gets moving. But that is with my gripes. But yeah, so I'm gonna end it off here on that terrible disappointment. I hope y'all like, subscribe. Pit Bike Mike is out.